school on Monday morning 2 weeks ago, there was a traffic jam. The traffic jam was caused by a protest of citizens against state-authored history textbooks. Many university students, as well as professors of the field, fiercely disagreed to the government's proposition, showing their disagreement by protesting and refusing to be the writer of the new textbooks. According to research results by STI, among the 3,000 who participated in this survey, 35.4% was in favor with the government's decision, while 56.5% were against. Do you agree or disagree? I believe that state-authored history textbooks are one of the solutions that can implement a healthy guideline for naive students who should be given a chance to encounter the historical information from a neutral perspective. So today I'll begin with defining the term state-authored history textbooks, then introduce the arguments of the opposing party, then explain why the textbooks should be state-authored. Now let's move on to defining the term. Currently, there are 8 private publishers with independent review committees publishing the history textbook for high school students. If they become state-controlled, only one history textbook will be published by the government. Due to this, the opposing party claims that students will be provided with only one point of view to view the history and believe it's the only right point of view. While the significance of history education lies in learning the various points of views, it will harm this notion as well. Additionally, the opposing party claims that the government will publish these books to suit the government's needs. For example, the current President Park Geun-hye will attempt to gloss the rule of the former President Park Chung-hee, who was her father. But are they sure? How can they be so certain that a textbook not even published or written will be biased? Do the textbooks used today provide various points of views, or are they also biased? To begin with, textbooks used nowadays do not provide wider views, and they're not objective either. On the contrary, they provide left-sided biased views. This can be proved by the example of what happened to a right-sided textbook named Hyoaksa. As soon as it was announced that they would be published, the liberalists altercated an abolishment of this book, and later on they were banned to use on his high schools. Different from the attitude they had toward the right-sided viewed textbook, they left alone the Kumsangsa and 7 other of the 8 among the history textbooks according to the Korean Times, leaving students to learn only one side of history. The problem does not stop here. The current textbooks also do not provide adequate information about Korean history. They indoctrinate defeatist viewpoints. They are marked from the beginning of the modern nation, marked from the bias of beginning with modernization in Korea. For example, the Joseon dynasty is depicted as a helpless nation that could not keep in time and open its gates to Japanese imperialists. The distortion gets worse when it comes to contemporary history. 4 out of 8 textbooks fail to mention that the historical hero Yu Gun-sun who fought against the Japanese imperialists, according to Korea Herald. While biased views on the textbook used to educate the futures of this country is painful, more pain awaits the students. The current textbooks, which fail to embed healthy concepts of history, also promote confusion to students who take history in college entrance exams. Due to many textbooks, the students find it harder to prepare the exams because they lack the time to look over all of the materials. Some parents even spoke on an interview by 중앙일보 that they agree to this issue because of these reasons. At this point, it seems that the current stance on history education cannot be endured any longer. To sum up, textbooks now enforce unfair standpoints, leave out crucial information, and infuse confusion among students. As Picadus Laura says in his book, I Am Number 4, he who doesn't understand history is doomed to repeat it, and when it's repeated, the stakes are doubled. History textbooks is the first step students approach history and therefore should be objective. Yes, state-authored textbooks is not the only correct answer and may not be the correct answer, but until we find another decent solution, this will have to be it.